with some Pore Filler by NYX. So the color that I got in Fenty Beauty is 380. And my actual color is 400. I was between 3 different type of foundations. I was recommended my colors through Sephora. I actually had to go a little lighter because they were sold out of so many colors. So check this footage out of how I matched my Fenty Beauty foundation at Sephora.
Have you ever used the color key before?
No.
No. So what it does is it takes 3 pictures of your skin, and then it's gonna tell us what color you are with our different brands that we have in the store. And it also does that with like concealer and your lip colors.
Oh, nice.
Alright, so we've got a match for the colors. 3 are colors, 410 and 400.
410 and 400?
And do you have makeup on now?
No.
So they do come out very bright until they're one. Thank you. Of course, yeah. So I like to see you guys. Here. So far, I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
so far.
it looks good. It covered up pretty well.
Yeah, it is a medium to full coverage, so it is buildable if you do want full coverage.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna oxidize a little bit.
Because it took away those little marks that I had right here.
Depending, do you like your highlight light?
So they didn't have the 2 colors that I would normally use, so they have to use a little bit lighter. So we'll see how this one comes out.
So it is gonna come out brighter, but it's gonna oxidize to get darker.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna make sure I blend it like really good, just to see how much oxidized it is. Definitely a lot lighter.
Yeah.
Got one more. It changed now, darker.
Yeah.
So at first I was like, oh my god.
It was really light. I could see it in there, like, oh, that's light.
Yeah.
Now that you guys see how I got color matched, they were sold out of a lot of things. So this one is the one I got. It's 380. It's lighter. This is the packaging of Fenty Beauty. This is the color swatch at the top. And this is my color. You see how it is a lot lighter than my skin tone, but I am used to wearing light or dark foundations. I could work with pretty much any foundation as long as it's not really pale white or real pale pinky white color. So this is not too bad. I've had colors like this. If you guys seen my previous videos of me using the Queen Latifah Toffee, that is way lighter than my skin, but I happen to make it work by using a lot of different colors on my face. and so I don't think this will be as bad. I'm gonna actually try this on my own skin at home to see how it actually looks and see what it does to my skin and how it looks on the lighting, because I couldn't tell when I was at Sephora. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply a layer onto my face. As you can see, the big difference in my hand. Of the foundation. This is a lot lighter than my skin tone. My perfect skin tone shade is in 400, as you can see in the video, but I can still work with this, but I would have liked my own color at 400. Still really work with this because it does oxidize, and she said at the counter that it does get darker, so if it gets any darker than this, it'll probably be my regular skin tone. So I don't have anything bad to say about it, and it did cover up little blemishes that I had on my face without trying too hard. I think it's pretty good. It feels just like regular skin. I'm gonna put it on again just to show you guys. I'm actually gonna just push it onto my skin, and you can see just how light that is, but watch it disappear. Like, I think it's making my blemishes go away because it's so opaque on my skin, because this is not the right color. But I've heard a lot of good things about this foundation. There was also another one that was a little bit darker. I was told not to get that one because it was gonna oxidize and make my face darker, and I didn't get that one. So those two was more recommended for me. Is it has full coverage and it's very buildable. It is very opaque when it goes onto the skin, so you don't have to use so much. I use this wet beauty blender, and it covered up marks that I usually have to cover up with concealer. So it has a thick consistency, but yet it's still very light because you have to use very little of it. I do like this color because it doesn't look chalky around my face. So if you can't find your actual color in the Fenty Beauty, try going a shade or two up. I love the packaging, and it has Fenty Beauty going down. I think it just really looks really high quality. I don't know how it would work if I just use something like this, or if I have to really move it into my skin. So maybe I should try that to see if it makes a difference whether you have a wet beauty blender or if you just apply it on the face directly. So I'm gonna use this Cara brush and see if it really works good, if it matters. Than this one. This one looks more blended out. This one looks more full coverage. So I'm gonna just go ahead and continue. So it actually looks pretty good. I like it with this one because it did cover up my pores more than this one. I used the Beauty Blender and the Fenty on this side, and as you can see the pores. But when I use this and blended it in, the pores kind of disappeared more, and you can kind of see more color on this side than this side. That's what I think. This one looks more like skin. I like it both ways. This one seems more matte, and then this one seems, it has the redness coming out of my skin naturally, so it's giving a natural look. What I'm gonna do now is just do my regular everyday foundation routine just to see how this holds up with the rest of the products that I use. $34 is pretty pricey for any type of cosmetic, especially if you don't have the money for it. So I think that this is a really good foundation to check out. But if you do not have the money, I'm pretty sure other foundations can still do the job, because even though that this is very opaque, I have to put other makeup on that's not gonna be all Fenty Beauty products. So it kind of came out the same way. I don't know how it wears all day, but it feels like skin. I don't go against it at all. I actually love it, but I also love my other foundations. I don't see a big true difference in it. Maybe because it's not my shade. I've only just put it on just now. I haven't worn it all day. I don't know if it oxidizes and if it would turn my color different. It's not ashy, it's very opaque, and it takes off a lot of the small marks that you may have on your face. But I do not feel like, if you do not have the money, I don't think that you should go out and try to break your pockets for this. This is a really good foundation. Also, my Maybelline 355 foundation is just as good. The only great thing about the Fenty is it has full coverage, and it also comes in many different shades, and it's pretty much a grade A, top of the line type of foundation versus a drugstore foundation. Even though I love my drugstore foundations, I love Maybelline, but I do think that every makeup enthusiast, any makeup artist should try to see what this is about. I think that I would adore this more if it just matched my skin exactly like the Fit Me 355. But as you can see, you cannot tell that it's too light for my skin. I don't know if I want to continuously spend $34 every time I run out, but if I get my actual color, I think maybe I would want to use my actual color often rather than this 380. I also use the Becca Topaz because it kind of reminds me of the Fenty highlighter, but the Fenty highlighter has a lot more sparkle, and I'm going to show you a clip of that right now. So I have to try this on like this because they're all out, they sold out. So I'm just testing it out. Oh, go ahead.
230. It's gonna, we've even like called other stores and they're out. I recommend you just call it next week.
So this is the Becca highlight, and it reminds me so much of the Fenty Beauty Trophy Wife. It's just not as sparkly. I think that the Trophy Wife is something that you wear when you're on like red carpet or a special event, your birthday. So this Becca is almost the same type of highlighter, but it's just on more of an everyday. So I do like the Fenty Trophy Wife, but it was sold out. So I do plan on getting it because I couldn't stop looking at it. So yeah, that concludes my review on the Fenty Beauty foundation. I do absolutely like it. It has full coverage. I do recommend people going to buy it to see what the hype is about, to see if it works for your skin, to see if you can find your shade, because that is the reason for Fenty Beauty. She wanted to make foundations that can cover a range of women. So that's exactly what she did, and I think that it's executed very well, and it's very opaque. It looks like skin, and I've seen some of them that was very dark. So it's great for people who have really dark skin or really light skin that cannot find drugstore foundations or other foundations, as far as other name brand foundations at Sephora that doesn't carry darker shades or lighter shades. So this is the perfect way to go. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you comment, rate, and subscribe, and stay tuned for this next screen because it'll have my latest videos.